The hum of the orbital station echoed like a heartbeat above the silent world below. Beyond the reinforced windows, the blue and golden swirl of Arendor 4 shimmered, hiding ancient secrets beneath its stormy skies. The Human Alliance had been stationed here for 6 months, studying the planet's energy anomalies. But nothing had prepared Captain Adrian Vale for the day when his own family would become part of the mission's survival equation. He stood in the command chamber, staring at the energy monitors. The readings were unstable again. The anomaly pulsed below the planet's crust, growing stronger every hour. Adrian's jaw tightened. "It's spreading," he said quietly. Beside him, Lieutenant Mara Soren, the lead xenophysicist, and his late brother's wife, looked at the same data. Her expression was calm, but her eyes betrayed the same worry. "It's reacting to the biofield signatures," Mara said. "It's almost as if the planet recognizes us." Adrian crossed his arms. "That's not possible." "It wasn't possible for stars to sing either," she replied softly. "But they do." Her tone had that familiar mix of intelligence and quiet conviction that reminded him of his brother Eli, the man who had once commanded this mission before tragedy struck. Eli had been lost during the first descent into Arendor's core, consumed by the same energy that now threatened to engulf them all. Adrian had taken command after his brother's death, but he'd never forgiven himself or Mara, not for what happened, and not for what came after. The bonding protocol was humanity's latest survival technology, a neural synchronization system designed for deep space missions where 2 minds had to act as one. It was intimate, dangerous, and required absolute trust. The last time Adrian had bonded with someone, it had been Eli. They'd shared every thought, every fear, and every triumph through that link. And now Command wanted him to bond again, this time with Mara. He refused. "There must be another way," Adrian said, pacing the command deck. "We can't just—" "Adrian," Mara interrupted, stepping closer. "The energy storm's reaching the outer hull. If we don't synchronize our minds to stabilize the shield, we'll lose the station. You know that." "I said no," he snapped. For a moment, silence filled the chamber, broken only by the distant thrum of the power conduits. Mara studied him. "You're not refusing because it's dangerous," she said quietly. "You're refusing because of me." Adrian looked away. "This isn't personal." "It's always been personal," she said, "since the day Eli died." Later that night, the corridors of Station Helios 9 glowed in pale blue light. Crew members moved quietly, repairing damaged conduits and recalibrating the shield emitters. The planet below rumbled like a sleeping beast, its magnetic storms reaching out to the orbiting structure. Adrian stood in his quarters, staring at the hollow photo of him and Eli, 2 brothers smiling beneath a Terran sunset. Behind them, Mara stood with a soft smile. It felt like a lifetime ago. He heard the door hiss open. "Still looking at ghosts?" Mara's voice carried a hint of sadness. Adrian didn't turn. "You should be resting." "So should you," she replied. "But we both know neither of us can sleep through what's coming." Adrian finally faced her. She was wearing her scientist's exosuit, sleek, silver, designed for deep link operations. "Don't tell me you're preparing for a bond," he said. "I am," she said calmly. "With or without you. That's not protocol, it's survival." The argument grew tense. Adrian wanted to protect the crew and Mara, but every time he saw her, the memory of his brother's death came flooding back. The energy field had reacted violently when Eli's mind connected to it through the bond. It had taken him, burned him out from the inside. "You think I'll let that happen again?" Adrian said bitterly. Mara met his gaze, her expression unflinching. "Eli wouldn't have wanted you to let fear rule your life." "He was my brother," Adrian said through clenched teeth. "I watched him die through the link." "You didn't," she took a slow breath. "You're wrong. I felt it too. The link was shared between all 3 of us that day. You just didn't know." Adrian froze. "What are you talking about?" Mara looked down, her voice trembling slightly. "Eli didn't tell you, but before the mission, he linked me into the bond too, partially. He wanted a 3rd mind to monitor the feedback. You were part of the link?" She nodded. "I felt him fade. I felt your pain. And I felt—" The moment his consciousness dissolved, Adrian took a step back. His heart pounded, a mix of anger and disbelief. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because you would have blamed me," she whispered. And you did anyway, the lights flickered. A tremor shook the station. Warning sirens began to echo through the corridors. Energy surge, came the voice of the communications officer through the intercom. All decks report critical flux from the planet's core. Adrian rushed to the control console. The readings were off the charts. The anomaly was rising toward orbit. "Mara," he shouted. "We're out of time." But when he turned, she was already gone. He found her minutes later in the bonding chamber, a circular room lined with glowing conduits and neural interface pods. The hum of the reactors grew louder as the planet's magnetic storm reached them. Mara stood at the center of the chamber, activating the synchronization field. The air shimmered with golden energy. "Stop this," Adrian said, storming in. She looked at him, her eyes fierce. "You won't do it willingly. So I'll do it for both of us." With a hiss, the heavy doors sealed shut. The chamber lights dimmed, locking them inside. "Mara," Adrian shouted, slamming his hand against the control panel. "Open it." But she didn't. Instead, she stepped closer, her voice calm but resolute. "You know what the system needs. Dual human minds to stabilize the link. Alone I'll fail. Together we might save everyone." He glared at her. "You're out of your mind." "Maybe," she said softly. "But I'd rather die trying than watch humanity lose another world." The bonding interfaces glowed, waiting for activation. The hum of the storm outside grew deafening. Adrian's pulse raced. He looked at her one last time. This woman who had once been family, who had once been a symbol of everything he'd lost. And for the first time he saw not guilt in her eyes, but unshakable faith. Then she whispered a single word. "Link." The chamber lights flared white, and everything went silent. When the light faded, the silence that followed was not empty. It was alive. Captain Adrian Vale opened his eyes, but the world around him had changed. The chamber still glowed, yet the air shimmered with golden threads of energy that drifted like dust in sunlight. His head felt heavy and his heartbeat echoed inside his skull as if it belonged to someone else. Then he heard her voice. "Adrian, can you hear me?" He turned sharply, but Mara wasn't speaking aloud. Her lips didn't move. The voice was inside his mind. He gritted his teeth. "What did you do?" "The bond protocol is active," she said, her voice both close and far, like a whisper through a dream. "Our neural pathways are connected. You can hear my thoughts." "I didn't agree to this," he shouted. "I didn't give you a choice," she replied quietly. "We were out of time." Adrian clenched his fists. He could feel her emotions pulsing through the link. Her fear, her determination, even the quick rhythm of her heart. It was wrong. It was invasive, and yet there was something strangely comforting about the connection, like two minds breathing in sync. The station trembled again. Through the chamber's glass walls, golden lightning arced across the planet's upper atmosphere. The storm was growing, forming a colossal vortex that reached toward space. The bond interface glowed brighter, responding to the energy surge. Mara steadied herself. "The storm's frequencies are aligning with our neural link. The planet's field is resonating with us." "You're saying it's alive?" Adrian asked. She hesitated. "Not in the way we understand life, but yes. It's responding to consciousness. It feeds on thought energy, emotion, maybe even memory." Adrian stared at the data streams running across the holographic panels. They showed two glowing shapes, his and Mara's neural patterns, slowly sinking. "Then we break the link before it consumes us," he said. "We can't," she answered. "If we stop now, the overload will tear the station apart. So what do we do?" Her voice trembled slightly. "We finish what Eli started." Adrian froze. The name hit him like a blade. "Eli's dead? You know that." "Not entirely," she said. Before he vanished, his neural patterns were absorbed by the energy field. "We've detected fragments of his mind in the planet's core. He's in there, Adrian, or at least what's left of him." Adrian's breath caught. "That's impossible." "No," Mara said softly. "That's why I agreed to this mission again. To find him." The storm outside pulsed brighter as if reacting to their words. A deep vibration filled the floor and the chamber's energy conduits flared gold. Suddenly, a new presence touched Adrian's mind. Faint, echoing, and painfully familiar. "Adrian." The voice was broken, distorted, but unmistakable. He staggered back. "Eli," Mara gasped. "You heard him too?" The voice echoed again, weak but clear this time. "Mara, help me. It's not what it seems." Then came a wave of static, pain, memories, flashes of light. Adrian saw images from years ago. The day Eli laughed on the training field, the night before the first descent, the moment he vanished into the light. The memories weren't just his. They were Mara's too. Through the bond, their memories were merging. Adrian's head throbbed. "Mara, we have to break the link before it destroys us." "Not yet," she said, fighting to stay conscious. "He's trying to communicate. The energy field must be a data structure, like a living archive. Eli's consciousness is trapped inside it." The room darkened. The golden energy turned crimson. Suddenly, the holographic panels dissolved, replaced by a swirling vortex of light. The world around them stretched and folded. Then everything disappeared. Adrian blinked. The metal walls were gone. He was standing in a vast golden plain beneath a swirling sky. Floating structures drifted in the distance. Fragments of the station, of memories, of places he couldn't name. He wasn't on Helios 9 anymore. He wasn't even sure he was real. "Mara," he called out. "I'm here." Her voice echoed from behind. She appeared beside him, glowing faintly, her outlines shimmering like energy. "We're inside the neural field, a shared mental landscape generated by the bond." Adrian looked around. So this is what Eli saw before he died. Mara nodded. "It's not death, Adrian. It's connection, a digital echo between minds and the planet's energy." Before he could respond, the ground trembled. Shapes formed in the golden mist, humanoid but twisted, made of flickering light. Their movements were jerky, their eyes hollow. "What are those?" Adrian asked, raising his hand instinctively as if he still had a weapon. Mara's voice grew tense. "Residual consciousness. Fragments of the crew from the first mission. The field absorbed them too." The figures turned toward them, whispering in distorted voices. "Join us, link with us." Adrian's pulse raced. "We have to get out of here." "Not yet," Mara said, scanning the horizon. "Eli's signal is near. I can feel him." They ran across the glowing plain, the ghostly shapes following close behind. The air grew thick with static. Adrian could feel Mara's fear inside his own mind. Sharp, cold, but also pushing him forward. They reached a crystalline spire that pulsed with blue light. Inside it, a shadow moved and the faint silhouette of a man. "Eli," Adrian whispered. The figure turned. The face was familiar, older, scarred by light, but undeniably human. "Adrian." "Mara." "You shouldn't have come." Mara stepped forward, tears forming in her glowing eyes. "We couldn't leave you here." "It's too late," Eli's voice said, vibrating through the air. "The planet isn't what we thought. It's alive, but it's dying, and it's using me to survive." Adrian's heart pounded. "Using you? How?" "It feeds on neural energy, human consciousness. That's why it wanted the bond. It wants you too." The ground cracked beneath them. The ghostly figures screamed, dissolving into red light that surged toward Eli's body. His form flickered, consumed by the energy. "Get out, before it binds you forever." Mara reached out, refusing to back away. "Eli, we can save you." "No," Eli's voice boomed. "Save yourselves. Save humanity. Destroy the core before it reaches the fleet." The world around them began to collapse. Golden light shattered into shards of static. Adrian grabbed Mara's arm. "We're leaving, now." She shook her head. "If we break the bond too early, the energy backlash will kill us both." "Then what's the plan?" Her eyes met his. "We take control of it." Adrian felt the storm of thoughts rush through his head. Her memories, Eli's last words, the data of the living planet. His mind struggled to hold it all together. But in that chaos, one truth shone clear. Humanity had always survived by doing what no other species dared, fighting back against the impossible. He focused, drawing on his training, his grief, his will. Through the bond, he felt Mara do the same. Their two consciousnesses began to align, perfectly. The energy storm paused as if listening. Then, with one shared thought, they spoke in unison. "We are human. We decide our fate." The planet screamed. The energy field convulsed. For a moment, Adrian saw Eli's smile, proud, peaceful, before his image faded into light. Then everything went dark. When Adrian awoke, he was lying on the cold floor of the bonding chamber. The emergency lights flickered dimly. The storm outside was gone. Mara lay beside him, unconscious but breathing. He reached for her hand. "Mara." Her eyes fluttered open. "Did we stop it?" Adrian looked at the monitors. The readings were clear. The anomaly was collapsing, dying. He nodded slowly. We did. But as he helped her sit up, the chamber's central console flickered once more. A distorted voice echoed through the speakers. Adrian. His heart froze. It was Eli's voice, the faint, distant but unmistakable. You saved them, but it's not over. The core remembers. The signal cut off. Mara and Adrian exchanged a look, tired, shaken, but alive. Outside, Arendor 4 shimmered one last time, as if taking a final breath. Adrian Vale and Mara Soren stepped out of the bonding chamber onto the bridge of Station Helios 9. The station, once trembling violently, now hummed with calm energy. Lights flickered, screens glowed softly, and the alarms were silent, but neither of them felt safe. The planet below, Arendor 4, still shimmered with a strange golden pulse. It wasn't dead. It was alive, and it remembered them. Mara leaned against the railing, exhausted but alert. The neural core, it's still active. It's aware of us. Adrian clenched his fists, the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. We stopped the storm, but we didn't destroy it. It could strike again, or worse, Mara nodded. It's intelligent. It reacted to our minds, but it didn't attack humanity out of malice. It tested us. Tested us? Adrian asked, wary. What do you mean? She turned to him, her eyes steady. Arendor 4 isn't just a planet. It's a conscious being. When it absorbed Eli's mind fragments, it learned. It learned fear, hope, loyalty, and our potential. That's why it wanted the bond, to see if humans were capable of thinking beyond instinct, beyond survival. Adrian frowned. So we passed? Mara smiled faintly. Yes, but it's still evaluating, and it won't stop until it knows the full measure of us. Before Adrian could respond, the station shuddered again. A holographic projection appeared in the center of the bridge, Eli's image, glowing and flickering like light trapped in water. Adrian. Mara? The voice echoed, gentle but urgent. The planet is alive. It is not hostile, but it is lonely. It has no other minds like it to understand itself. If you destroy it, humanity will survive, but you will lose the chance to learn, to grow beyond what you know. Adrian's throat tightened. Then what do you propose? Eli's image flickered. You must merge. Not lose yourselves, but share. Teach it, guide it, and it will guide you. It will make humanity stronger. Mara reached for Adrian's hand. Through the bond, he felt her heartbeat steady his own. Are you saying we bond again? With the planet itself? He swallowed. After everything. I don't know if I can trust it. Or us. Trust isn't the point, Mara said softly. Understanding is. The decision weighed heavily on them. The crew gathered on the bridge, watching silently, sensing the tension between the two leaders. Every member knew the risks. A wrong move and Station Helios 9 would become a tomb. Adrian breathed deeply. Mara, we've faced impossible odds before. We survived storms, we survived Arendor's energy. If humanity is going to endure, it's because we try, even when we're afraid. Mara nodded. Then we do this, together. They returned to the bonding chamber. This time, it was different. They didn't argue. They didn't hesitate. Their hands met on the neural interface console, and the golden light began to hum once more, wrapping around them like a protective cloak. The chamber glowed brighter than ever before. Outside, Arendor 4 pulsed in synchrony, as if welcoming them back. Inside the shared mental landscape, the golden plane returned. The storm of thoughts and images was calmer, more structured. Shapes of light, fragments of the planet's consciousness, swirled around them. Adrian. Mara? Eli's voice floated from the light. The planet will respond to your minds. Be cautious. It is vast and your connection must be strong. Adrian looked at Mara. We're ready. Mara reached out to him, their hands overlapping in the golden light. Their consciousnesses merged seamlessly, a delicate balance of thought and will. They could feel each other's fear, courage, and resolve. But now it was joined by a new sensation. Hope. Let's do this. Adrian whispered through the bond. As they moved, the planet's consciousness revealed itself. Towering structures of golden light rose from the ground, forming a vast neural network stretching into the sky. The world itself seemed to breathe, pulsating with thought and memory. Adrian and Mara sent out their combined awareness, touching the threads of the planet's mind. They could sense its curiosity, its loneliness, its desire for understanding. A voice, not Eli's this time, resonated directly into their consciousness. "Welcome, humans. You are the first minds to approach me willingly. I am Arendor. Will you teach me?" Adrian swallowed. "We will, and will you learn from me?" Mara exchanged a glance with him. Through the bond, they shared a silent understanding. Humanity survived because it learned from every challenge, every danger, every unknown. "We will," she replied aloud. Together. The energy around them shimmered, then shifted. The red and chaotic remnants of the storm faded. In their place, a golden city of light formed, rising from the planet's surface. It was beautiful, alive and welcoming, a reflection of the harmony between human consciousness and planetary intelligence. Adrian felt Eli's presence again, faint but smiling. "You've done well. You've honored humanity, and me." A tear slipped down Mara's cheek, glowing faintly in the light. Adrian reached out and brushed it away. "We did it. Together." Through the bond, they guided the planet's thoughts gently. Every question, every new idea, every emotion was shared. They taught Arendor about human compassion, resilience, creativity, and courage. And in return, the planet shared its knowledge of energy, life, and the universe itself. Outside the bonding chamber, the crew watched in awe. Station Helios 9 no longer trembled. The anomaly had stabilized. Arendor 4 glowed softly beneath them, calm and radiant. Communications Officer Lin spoke quietly into the intercom. "Captain, the fleet is reporting the storm is dissipating. They're safe?" Adrian smiled faintly, exhaustion and relief mingling. Humanity survives, because humans never give up, even when the odds seem impossible. Mara rested her hand on his shoulder, and because sometimes survival requires trust, in each other and in something bigger than ourselves. Inside the neural field, Adrian and Mara explored the golden city of light with ease. Their bond, once forced and tense, had transformed into something greater, a union of minds, strengthened by trust, courage, and shared purpose. Eli's presence lingered, fading gradually as he merged with the planetary consciousness. "I am proud of you both. Humanity is capable of greatness. Even in the darkest moments," Adrian whispered. "We'll honor it, Eli, always." Mara smiled. "Together." Arendor 4 responded with a gentle pulse, a rhythm like a heartbeat. It had learned from them, and they had learned from it. The storm had passed. The planet was alive, aware, and no longer hostile. Humanity had triumphed, not through weapons or domination, but through courage, unity, and understanding. Back on the station, Adrian and Mara stepped out of the bonding chamber. The golden light dimmed, leaving only the soft hum of the machinery. They were tired, bruised by the experience, but stronger than ever. Adrian looked out at the planet below. "Arendor 4, a living world, a teacher, and now our ally." Mara nodded. "And humanity has a new chapter to write." He turned to her, feeling the echo of the bond between them. A bond built not on fear or necessity, but on trust, courage, and human spirit. "Let's make sure we honor it," he said. "Always," she replied. Above them, the stars of the Human Alliance fleet shone brightly. They had faced the impossible and survived. They had bonded not just with each other, but with the universe itself. And in that moment, Adrian understood what it truly meant to be human, to survive, to trust, to hope, to connect. No matter the odds, humanity would endure.